Okay, so once you set up your account in Social Explorer, you should see over here that you have a professional plan. That will make sure that you have access to everything you need here. Make sure you're clicked on Explore Maps and then go Explore. For this first piece, you will just be exploring, and within the next week, you will decide on which maps you're going to make to compare and contrast. So you'll see over here that there are a lot of options. You can change data. You can explore change over time by changing your year. You can look at the country as a whole. You can look at states, counties, census tracts, zip codes, right? A lot of different geographic levels that you can examine here. With this one, you could change what's shown on the map, but I would recommend you keep it at the shaded area. That's sort of the easiest to see with a lot of the data. So the main thing when you're exploring and kind of trying to choose which maps to make, you'll click on the change data. And within any of these categories, you're going to find a number of different variables, right, that you can map for your geographic locations. And so regardless of which chapter you chose to read for this unit, you're going to find stuff that fits with that chapter. So, again, when you get into reading the chapter, you'll have a clearer sense of which of these will work. For example, if you're in the health and illness chapter, you can come here and look at these different measures of health, right, that are available here. So I can just click on one and it's going to change my map. Right, so now it's showing low birth weight. You can see the different levels with the different colors across geographic space. And then again, you might choose to zoom in on some particular geographic level that might be your comparison contrast. Okay, up here, there's a handy feature that says compare, so you can do side-by-side maps. And this is what you'll ultimately do to put together your project, right? So I might have low birth weight on this side, and I might do it for 2022 or, oops, I accidentally scrolled back. Let me get back into that. So I'm on the compare side by side. And I could have, it went back to population density. That's kind of the default. But I can show you other ones as well. Consumer prices, if you're in the economics chapter, right? You can sort of look at one variable on this side. Oh, I don't see any variation in that, right? If everything is the same color, maybe that's not a very interesting variable to look at, but maybe I could find it for another point in time and compare that, right? Oh, this is on population density. Oh. Right, and again, that's probably not a good variable to choose because there's nothing interesting that I see in this map. So I might go on and pick a different variable. Take a look at how that looks. Well, consumer price index is maybe not our best bet, right? And I'm showing you that because I want you to know that that's not a good variable choice, but also I don't want to take away any of the possibilities that you might be using for your own project, right? So, there are possibilities within any of these categories, right? So that, you'll be finding things that relate to your chapter. There's stuff on crime. I think I can search here. Nope, that's the searching the map. Let's see. I search in here for crime, right? Then I could get data on violent crime, total crime index, right? So again, depending on which chapter you're reading for this week, you'll see a variety of variables. And Spend time this week just kind of digging in, clicking around, getting familiar with what's there. Don't feel like you have to decide what you're comparing and contrasting just yet, but with the mindset that you're going to have two maps that compare and contrast. They're going to have some similarities, they're going to have some differences. You might be comparing two measures of crime or health or the economy or whatever it is, or you might have the same measure over 2 points in time, the same measure over two different geographic locations, and so on. But for this week, again, just clicking around, it takes a lot of time to kind of get familiar with it, see what's available, and so on. So we have time for, um, narrowing down your focus, but you have to put in the time now to be familiar with it so that you're not at the last minute scrambling to figure out what your focus is going to be. All right, so reach out if you have any questions.